It has just been reported that the late Jeffrey Epstein, who's burning in hell right now, allegedly, or actually, it's not even allegedly, this has come out through legal sources, the law, more digging and investigating. It has come out that he had 13 different numbers for the Duke of York, Prince Andrew. So this is the Queen's second son, and many say that this is the Queen's favorite son. And this pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein, who was friends with Bill Clinton, who was briefly friends with Donald Trump, friends with Prince Andrew, and a bunch of other different people, who assaulted, sexually assaulted, raped, sexually abused several young women, had 13 different numbers to get a hold of Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew lives in Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is the primary official residence of the Queen and the official headquarters of the royal family. He is what you would call a mama's boy. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Ever since he and, what's her name? Fergie, divorced, he's been living at Buckingham Palace. Apparently, he also lives in the Windsor Great Lodge. But he sticks on to his mama's aprons, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with this guy who continues a friendship with somebody who has been convicted of being a pedophile. And when people tell him to stop doing it, he accuses them of being Puritans. Now, for a member of the royal family to accuse someone of being a Puritan, knowing the history of Puritans, people who escaped England and religious persecution, many of it due to the crown, is pretty amazing. And what's even more amazing is the fact that he's accusing people of being Puritans when they are trying to stop him from having a relationship with a pedophile. Now, there have been many stories about pedophilia and the royal family. We can go back to their relationship with Jimmy Savile, who is a known pedophile. He's also been knighted by the royal family. We can go back to the stories of missing and murdered, or just plain old missing, Aboriginal, Native, First Nation Canadians, whom many of them have gone missing when the Queen just happened to be in town visiting the same school that these children went to, and they just happened to be ordered to kiss the shoe of the Queen. This is what people said had happened, and it's come out that that is true. A lot of these children, these native kids, had to kiss the feet of the Queen out of respect. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people did that back in the day. You don't see a lot of that crap now. And then these people just happen to go missing when the Queen is in town at that same school. We hear about many different instances of pedophilia. But not only is this, the pedophilia goes back even further. We can go back to one of Queen Victoria's grandsons, who was actually supposed to be king before he died early, Albert Victor. He was supposed to be king after his father, Edward VII, was done being king, but Albert Victor died, and so the crown went to King George. Albert Victor was accused of being a part of a child sex ring on Cleveland Street in London during the 1800s. He was also accused of being Jack the Ripper, but there's not a lot of evidence to suggest that one, but there's plenty of evidence that he was involved in a child sex ring. So pedophilia is very, it looks like there's a lot of pedophilia going on in that lizard family. But also what has come out is that Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein allegedly had orgies with 9 different young girls. This is coming from the Toronto Sun, which is a pretty respected newspaper. the Toronto Sun. That people read the Toronto Sun. It's not any tabloid. This is hardcore type of thing. They don't just write any old rubbish. And what they're saying is that one of Jeffrey Epstein's best-known underage victims claims the pedophile and Prince Andrew took part in an orgy with 9 young girls. Virginia Roberts made the shocking claim in 2015. Britain's Channel 4 has reopened the defamation case involving Epstein's top pimp, socialite, Ghislaine Maxwell. But let's read about this new allegation coming out that Epstein had 13 different phone numbers for Prince Andrew. And this is coming from Forbes magazine. Fresh details of Prince Andrew's 12-year friendship with deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, even after the financier was convicted, were revealed in a documentary titled The Prince and the Pedophile, which aired in the UK on Monday. The Channel 4 program, billed as the most complete picture yet of the relationship between the senior royal and Epstein, revealed information gathered from Epstein's documents, including his flight logs and address book, viewed against Andrew's schedule. Andrew and Epstein met at least 10 times between 1998 and 2010, with Andrew usually staying with Epstein for days at a time. And if you recall, there was a video, a very famous video, of Prince Andrew waving off what appeared to be a young girl leaving the pedophile goof Jeffrey Epstein's New York mansion. He's waving her off in a nervous manner, and then he nervously looks around to see if anybody saw him wave off this young-looking girl leaving this convicted pedophile's mansion, and then he closes the door behind him like as if it's his own house. And then a few minutes later, Jeffrey Epstein walks out of the same house with another underage-looking girl going into some car. A detailed address book obtained by private investigators searching Epstein's home shows that Epstein had 13 different numbers for Andrew, covering several different ways to reach him at Buckingham Palace. The documentary also details how Epstein victim Virginia Roberts, now Giuffre, met the royal after being recruited by Epstein from Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. Many people did say that Trump may have been involved with, wrongdoings when it came to Jeffrey Epstein. Nobody has come out with any proof that happened, but then again, nobody's proven that it didn't happen. Right now, Trump is in this little limbo. I don't particularly think anything did happen between any young people and Trump. Trump did remove Jeffrey Epstein from his mansion, from his club, when he got complaints that young girls were being harassed by Jeffrey at his club. So that's just proof that, and then of course Trump cooperated with the FBI. These are all documented when they wanted to question him about Epstein. Now, is this just to cover his own chestnuts? Maybe. But so far, there's more proof showing Trump didn't have anything to do wrongly with any kids. But there's plenty of proof that Prince Andrew had something to do with underage girls. And there's plenty of evidence showing that Bill Clinton had something to do with young people. He already lied. It's proven now that he lied about how many times he was on Lolita Express, Epstein's private jet. Lolita is the name of a character from a movie where the character is being pursued by somebody over age. And he happens to name a plane like that, and Bill Clinton goes on a plane with that name. So Roberts, who alleges she was trafficked to the prince, said in a legal declaration that she was paid $15,000 for her work with Andrew, as well as to keep quiet after she claims they had sex soon after a picture of the two was taken. Hospital records obtained by the program confirm Roberts suffered vaginal bleeding for weeks following encounters with Epstein abusers. There's no suggestion that this was linked to any alleged encounter with Prince Andrew. So that's the latest that we have. And now we know that Prince Andrew is in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, somewhere, doing business with sheikhs and Gulf royals, Gulf state royals, doing all sorts of stuff. I don't know if that's because they want to keep him as far away from Britain as possible. But as far as I'm concerned, he needs to be subpoenaed. He needs to be sent into a court of law. And if he's found guilty, he should be arrested. There are people who get arrested for far less than what Andrew is being accused of, with far less proof than Andrew. I mean, there are literally people in America right now who got shot by the police in cold blood, and it later reveals that they've done absolutely nothing wrong. But Prince Andrew, there's a lot of proof showing that he's a goof, he's a pedophile, along with Jeffrey. He's given Jeffrey Epstein 13 ways to contact him, even after he's been convicted of pedophilia. He hangs out with Jeffrey Epstein in Central Park, even after Jeffrey has been convicted of pedophilia, and he hasn't even seen so much as a bailiff. He's not seen so much as someone questioning him about it. And that just goes to show that there's something wrong with the royal family. The royal family is going down the drain, and it won't be long now before the Commonwealth nations, Canada, Australia, Jamaica, Belize, Bahamas, Barbados, New Zealand, all these places get rid of this family as their head of state once and for all and start showing some pride. Now, maybe Canucks won't do it because we all know ever since last night we see Canucks don't have any pride. They just re-elected a pimp, a Mac Daddy, the son of Satan, as their prime minister. Though, to be fair, more Canadians voted for the Conservative Party than for the Mac Daddy. So the Mac Daddy didn't win the popular vote, so I maybe shouldn't be too harsh on Canucks. But going back to what we're talking about, there's something wrong with this family, and there's something wrong with Prince Andrew. He needs to be investigated. He needs to go in front of a court of law. He needs to be sent, extradited, whatever it's called, to the United States to face questioning. And if the Queen doesn't cooperate, then there's something wrong with her too. She's an enabler, just like Hillary Clinton. So somebody needs to investigate this guy. How can you have 13 ways to contact? How can a pedophile have 13 ways to contact Prince Andrew? You know how many pedophiles can contact me? None. Zero. There's no way any pedophile can contact me. I don't care who you are. If my own child, if I had a child, was a pedophile, they'd be out the door. They could go live on the streets or in the prisons. I'm sorry, that's just not going to fly. So something needs to be done about Prince Andrew. He's out there in Dubai pretending like he's legitimate, and people are pretending like, oh, it's no big deal. People have already forgotten about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. But we're going to continue investigating this. Arana Nation is busy. Let me tell you, Arana Nation is busy. We've got so many stories that we're looking at, that we're covering, that we're investigating, that we're keeping our eye on. Brexit, the state of Canada, Meghan Markle, who now it appears that Prince Harry has confirmed that Prince William is fed up with the Sussexes. He can't take them. He thought he doesn't like Meghan Markle. He saw her from a mile away, and Harry couldn't deny that his own brother is sick of him, and they're on different paths. So, you see, there's that story now we're covering. But we're going to keep on this story because this is serious. We can't allow ourselves to forget about the wickedness going on in the royal family, Prince Andrew and his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. We're going to continue on that, and we need to make sure. I wish somebody could create a petition which would demand the UK government extradite Prince Andrew to the United States so that he can face a court of law and some serious investigation. That's it from me. This is the Arana Nation.